Hello, users! Welcome back to Above It All. Do you remember elections? You know, that thing we all used to pay attention to all the time for whatever reason? Well, Georgia doesn't, because Georgia had their primary, and this happened. Last voter walked out at 12:37 a.m. Technically, it's Wednesday, but the voting advocates groups refused to leave. They called the police on us, but we told them we were not leaving until everyone voted. Why? Because black votes matter. Great tweet. Real quick, when I was doing campaign work with the Bernie Sanders campaign in South Carolina, I was there on the day of the primary. One of the things that the campaign asked me to do, and asked, all the volunteers to do, was around when the polls closed, we were to disperse, find the polling locations, which that was a real challenge because almost all of them were moved that day. Like the posted bulletins online that we were using, from the night before, were inaccurate. So some of us could not even find them, but we found our polling station. But our goal was to go there and to ensure that everyone voted, and then also to monitor the people counting the votes to make sure that there were no shenanigans. So that was really cool. I was sitting in an auditorium watching people count votes for the Bernie campaign, and the situation I went to, everyone already voted. There was no line. So we just stayed and watched them do the thing, and we didn't have to have any issues. No police weren't called, anything like that. But it was still fascinating. The idea that the Bernie campaign would recommend that we do that, and that's one of those things that's super interesting. It's there were no other election monitors. We were the only people monitoring that election. So theoretically, they could have cheated. If we weren't there, and they could have cheated if we were there. I mean, it's hard to say. But it's just interesting how no other campaign, there's no independent body that oversees the accounting or the counting of ballots and so forth, that oversees these polling stations trying to disenfranchise people. It's just weird. It's also weird that we can stand in line for hours, 8 hours. I think in California and Texas, there were people that were in lines that for literally 10 hours long to vote. That is not a free and fair election. What if someone had work that day? What if someone has a child at school? What if they go to vote at, 11 a.m.? Their kid's at school. They get off at 3. Now keep in mind, school isn't happening at this moment, but I'm just giving you a hypothetical. What if the kid gets off at 3? The mother, the father, goes, okay, let me go vote real quick. Obviously, it can't take anything longer than 4 hours. Next thing you know, it took 4 hours. You can't stay there. You have to go fucking pick up your kid. By the time you pick up your kid, it's 3:30. By the time you drop your kid off at home, maybe you have people to look after your children. But by the time you drop off your kid, you get home, it's 4, maybe 4:30. What if you don't have people to babysit the kid? Are you going to bring the kid to the polling place? Are you going to really? I remember when I voted in 2016, the line took 3 hours. Oh, not 3. It was it's maybe 2. Maybe 2. Yeah, it was around 2, not 3, but, around 2. And while I was in line, I was a few, people behind a family, a mother and a father and 3 kids. And being in line for after an hour, the kids started to oh, I'm thirsty. Can we go? And the parents are like, no, we gotta vote for Hillary. And it was ugh. Right? But it's one of those things where it's imagine instead of being 2 hours, it's 8, it's 10. It's a whole day. It's 13. It's 16 hours. What? This is not a free and fair election. We do not live in a country with free and fair elections. We do not live in a democracy. This is an oligarchy. Your vote doesn't matter. In the sense, let me explain this. In the sense that whatever you're voting for is not going to bring about real, substantial, actual change. That's how they get you. Your vote matters in the sense that it could swing an election, maybe, right? I'm not saying that. But ultimately, I do want to say I am explicitly in favor of voting, given the opportunity. However, voting is one arrow in the quiver. All the other arrows, like the protests, should be used. If you've got a quiver with 15 arrows, and you're being assaulted by police that are trying to kill you, are you just going to use one arrow? Or are you going to use all your arrows to defend yourself? Think about that. That's my analogy. But yeah, no, I just wanted to signal boost this. It's obviously bullshit. It's obviously stupid. It's evil. It's dumb. It's scum. But they're going to get away with it. Why? Because we don't live in a democracy. We do not have free and fair elections. I'm sorry, we just don't. So, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you have a nice day. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you've got any news stories you want me to talk about, let me know. And also, watch these videos. The end screen should be popping up. I love the YouTube end screen thing. It's super cool. Like, there's just videos right there, and you can just watch them, like, right now.